Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to City Skylines. Last video, we put in some public transportation, and we're going to start expanding on our city and what it needs now. And what it needs right now is more people. We have a lot of businesses out here who are complaining. They don't have enough customers. And we're going to start getting people to leave their buildings. We're going to start getting abandoned buildings and stuff. We want to try to avoid that as much as possible. So today, we're going to focus on getting these guys some more customers. To do that, we expanded into another residential area over here. We put a whole bunch of low density residential. It seems like low density residential demand is kind of like the only thing people ever demand in this game so far, anyway. And then office demand is non-existent, at least as far as I can tell. Nobody wants to be in an office either. We're just going to keep catering to the demands and keep focusing on this, trying to balance it out. So we have kind of a limited amount of space left in the greater city area. And I don't want to put any homes over here because it's kind of our industrial park area. We're going to start expanding on this as well by getting stuff going with the specialized industry area. We're going to start getting some vegetable farming going because we have a current production deficit of 65 tons per month. We also need to get some cargo brought into the city from the train would be kind of nice. So this cargo yard here, right now it's just sending it out of the city. And I would like to get it to where they could get to the businesses, and we could maybe get them to be able to ship it via train to the businesses as well. I don't really want a train yard here, though. I was kind of thinking more along the lines of putting it over here and getting the trucks to come in from this side. But I mean, if I wanted to really hit in the downtown and really get delivered where all the businesses are, this might have been a better spot for that to be delivered, to be honest. But maybe I can put a cargo yard right behind this and then just have both passengers and cargo being brought to the same area in the greater city later. We'll take a look at that later. For now, though, the new neighborhood I'm thinking about building is over here. So at the moment, we've got some of this fertile land that we're going to work, but we're not currently working it. I think also I want to take a look and see if we have a production surplus at all on the stone. And we actually do have a deficit on stone. So I can go in and I can put yet another stone operation. Or I can just expand the existing one, but I don't have any border left. I don't have any space left, really. So I'm just going to put another one over here. It's fine. So we'll pop one right there. And then we're just going to say that you come all the way out to the road. That's fine. And then all the way up as far as you can. And we'll just kind of have it do one of these numbers until we get more land. And then that'll be the way that goes. And we'll just lock it up right there. And then I can adjust this again by bringing this down like that, I guess, and then bring this down like that, I guess. There we go. All right, so that'll help our production deficit. In fact, I think I can probably just sort of do the same thing with this one, right? Bring it all the way over. Just let this entire area be stone, at least as far as it'll let me go, which I guess is here. So that's good enough for now. It looks almost the same shape, so I think that's good enough for now, and that should help our deficit as well. So over here, I think what I'm going to do is we're going to get another neighborhood going. We need sort of like a main street, if you will. And I think that main street needs to be headed towards the highway, right? So we've got this road and, you know, it's already in and everything, and that's fine. And I think what we'll do is we'll just expand it on this side. And just bring it all the way out about like this so that we have sort of a main street for our new neighborhood. And again, I am not opposed to using districts, of course. Districts are a pretty useful tool. I just don't see a reason to do it yet. So I'm definitely going to look for districts at some point, but it just doesn't really have a meaningful impact on the game or on our city at this time. So I'm not really worried about it right now. Okay, so what I'm looking to do now is to start getting, like, these are our main street, so that's probably where we want most of our commercial and stuff to be, is right around this main street area. We'll probably want to have some extra roads that kind of swing off this way. Let's go down to a 2-lane here. Maybe some extra roads that go off this way. So maybe we'll go out about, let's say about that far is fine. And we could also maybe go out a little bit further because we're going to maybe want another school out here or some other type of bigger building. So we'll leave a little bit of a room here, I think, to maybe grow that in a different way, potentially. And then we'll just kind of get these grids go like this. Now, one person has brought up, like, why not use the grid tool, right? So the grid tool is another way to make a grid. You just hit click where you want that grid to start. right? And then you click out where you want it to go, and then you can click over and it will just make you a grid for you, right? And that's totally possible to do. I just haven't bothered doing that yet because this makes everything exactly the same, okay? And I just wasn't interested in everything being exactly the same before. However, for the sake of it, just to say I did it and to show you what the difference in that is, I'm going to go ahead and do the grid tool here. And we're going to have that be right about, I think maybe like this would be fine. So this makes a perfect grid right into here. And we can do the same thing on the other side too. Again, just to say we did it, and go about like this. I want to keep it away from the industry if possible here. And see if we can maybe make this just a little bit bigger. I want these grids to be spaced out just a little bit more. So maybe it has to be right about here. It's getting close to those stone mines, though. I'm trying to avoid getting too close to them. But we can always put like parks and stuff on this side, I suppose. If we wanted to take a look and see what... Hang on. Now, I don't know if this is actually working because it doesn't have one. Oh, there it goes. All right. I didn't see the big machinery. So, yeah, I guess it took a little second. All right. So over here, it says we have power. So we're getting it from this line. Yep. Yeah. So we're connected way out there. Perfect. Okay. So we're going to be able to get power out this way, which means also sewer and water and all that stuff is hooked up as well. And that means we shouldn't have any problems with any of those utilities, really. We definitely don't want to pull water from here, and we don't want to pull water from downstream from the sewage. So most likely what I'd like to do at this point is move the sewage outflow to be over here, just so like we can, have that be flowing down river even more. So to do that, I'm going to have to really quick go ahead and just move this, relocate this. And I'm going to put it as far over here as I can. And I know this will be a little bit more expensive, but I think it'll be worth it in the end. So this doesn't exceed city limit. Oh, right. I own this part of the dotted line, not the other part. All right. So right about here is perfect. Now, to get that to actually happen, we need to go over and add sewage pipe. And again, I know this is more expensive, but it means that I can have this be way over here. And I like that idea. Okay. So am I mistaken that that's going to... Well, I'm pretty sure this needs power, right? Yeah, this is going to need power anyway. So, you know what? Why don't we just draw the damn road? We'll just put a gravel road or something over here. That's fine. Oh, we don't want to be in grid tool. No. Definitely not that. Here we go. Like this. And then we'll just go straight over and connect kind of like, I don't know, over here somewhere. It's just it's a gravel road. Nobody's going to go on it, so I don't care. All right, so something like that. Does that make a really strange intersection? It does kind of look like it's pretty strange, doesn't it? I don't really want it to be that close, I guess. So we'll bring it back a little bit more. I was trying to avoid going through the trees, but we have plenty of forest, so I don't think it'll be an issue. Yeah, we'll bring this just a little bit further back just so it doesn't look so weird. All right. So that'll take care of everything. We should have our sewage and stuff completely hooked up, which we would have had anyway with the road, so that pipe was a complete waste of my money. Fine, it is what it is. And then we also have some upgrades we could do to it. Reduces the amount of pollutants in the water before it's expelled. That's going to cost me $4,000 in upkeep. And then we also have the extra settling tank, which costs $10,000 a month. But, could be worth it, right? If we start having a lot of water pollution issues, we could look into that. And say, hey, like, how do we stop that? So at the moment, we're going to have plenty of water pollution right through here. But right now, it's coming out here. And we can see that it's actually coming out here, which is good. So now we've moved all the water sewage stuff to happen down here, which means if we need to, we can pull water from this area potentially in the future. We have also a big water reservoir area right here we could potentially dip into. And it looks like my wind turbines, we could potentially move those over as well. Real quick check of the budget. We are exporting quite a lot of electricity right now, $40,000 in electricity, but our budget still sits at a $60,000 deficit. I believe we're going to change that as soon as we get more people living in our city. So that's what we're going to do today. That's what we're getting all more people in here, okay? We're also going to make their lives better. If we hover over top of this over here, we can see that there are various different metrics that happen that affect their happiness, and high crime seems to be something that is affecting people right now. So despite people thinking I don't need additional police stations, I apparently do. I'm just calling it like it is. It just is that way. Here's a police station with already the garage extension on it. And then we also have another police station over here too. Let me just see where they are. Yep. So I have this police station upgraded already. Then we have this police station over here upgraded already. And people are complaining about high crime, right? So it's, you know, you might think I don't need more police stations. The game, not me, the game disagrees with you. I have high crime. So most likely we'll need another police station. We're going to have another one over here anyway. So I'm going to add another police station over here because you see the way the coverage is. It's these, you know, anything that's green and yellow, etc. So we have okay coverage until you get over to the industry area. And then there's like no police coverage over here. Why don't we add police coverage? Maybe on this little side right over here. Oh, I don't have the radio. There we go. Switch back to this station. Those guys talk on that station. And every time you boot the game, it resets what radio station you want. I do wish they would make that persistent, but it doesn't. Anyway, high crime might be caused also by just not having people over here. So why don't we place a police station right here just to help out a little bit with that area. And then I do want to check fire coverage as well. And it seems like fire coverage is lacking over in this side as well. Now, before anyone says, why don't you just upgrade your existing ones? Okay, well, this just gives me more space for more fire engines. It doesn't help in their response times, right? They're still going to have to travel this far when they leave the place. That doesn't help them respond faster. Being in closer proximity to the fire, however, is a great way to respond faster to the problem. I find anyway. So we're going to have them be physically located closer to these areas, and hopefully this will help drive down crime, because maybe the crime is happening over here. Is there a way to see that in the overlay actually? All right, so in this overlay right here, it shows, this is the police overlay, and it does show crime probability on the buildings, and the red ones show a high crime probability. And so these ones here, I think, are the ones that had a high crime probability. Now that we have police cars in the area, though, to respond, that crime will probably get reduced. We also have high crime probability in these buildings, which is just down the street from the police station. So most likely these are the low-income housing, correct? Comfortable, level, neutral, households. I think these are the low-income ones. And or they could be the ones that have like commercial on the bottom, I forget. I suppose I could just go to my zoning and see. They are green, so I'm going to assume that that's what they are. I'm going to assume that they're these low-rent housings here, which I don't have very many of those, but, you know, it's a thing. Okay, let's focus over here because we need more people for sure. I want this road to get upgraded again. I want this road to go from, yeah, so like it's down here, but then I did the grid tool and it overrided my road upgrade. So let's get that back like this. There we go. And I think that's probably sufficient. Most people will be heading that direction, I think. So that's fine. And then what we'll do is we're going to place some commercial in this area right here. So about like that. And then everything else will be low density residential for now on the outsides like this. And we'll even, I think maybe not on that side, but we'll do something like that too. And we'll have low density residential all through here. like that. Right? So we're just basically spreading this out and making that, here, let's maybe cross this over like that too. We can get rid of this little road there and there. And then also, I think I'm going to delete some roads here randomly just to do it. So let's delete that one. That seems fine to me. And then that way, when we go back to the zones, we should be able to... Oh, interesting. It left a little pattern there. Okay, maybe that's not what I want to do then. You know what? I don't think that's what I want to do after all. Yeah, because it leaves these little weird little gaps. I was going to put like parks and stuff in there, but I mean, that's fine. It's like a predetermined size that I probably can't do efficiently. So we'll let that be a thing. Okay, so turn it on. Low density should start kicking in. Now what we want to do is I want to have some bus stops in here too. So we're going to have a bus stop be here on, let's say, this side of the road, and then another one on this side of the road, and then another one on this side of the road, and then I think that's kind of it. Trying to see what route I want to take. So you know what, how about we have another one maybe be over like here. All right, so that should cover almost everybody that we want to cover in this area. And then that bus will take them over to other places. Now we also need a bus to bring people into work as well. So I'm thinking a bus stop could stop here, and that would make all these guys happy. And then we could also get another bus that stops here. Yes, and that would make all these guys happy. And then we'll deal with that later because we're not done with that area yet. This area is not done yet either. We're probably going to change that. So we have all these different bus routes. Now I want to change the buses. So to get people into the city and to get people to work and all these types of things, right? So we're going to want to have a route that kind of takes them into this area, but you know, also comes from that side. So let's actually get a route from here that gets them into the industrial area. I think that's probably good. So we'll start here, and then we'll have you go to here, and then we'll have you go over here. That's a left turn, but it, you know, we're gonna have a couple different left turns, I guess. Right there. And, you know, I feel like, yeah, you should take the highway and bring them right in to this road here. Yep, that's what we're looking for. And then from there to here. Good. And then from there, we can have you head just back over to here. This is just a simple route that takes people to work. So it ends up going all the way back around. I like it. All right, good. So bus depots will spawn and come out and do it. So this should satisfy the low density residential demand, but I'm going to go ahead and tax it higher because there's such a high demand. I'm going to just tax it higher and see what happens. Industry also has a really high demand too. I'm going to tax that higher as well. Try to help my budget situation just a little bit on that. I don't have any loans yet, which is kind of nice. I'm actually profiting on my education, but that's going to change today too, because some of these businesses are going to start saying that they don't have enough qualified workers as well. So that's a thing that you have to consider in this game too. And I think I have this tile. So my next step in getting more customers for these guys is to get the passenger train up and running. So the passenger train, we're going to displace some homes today, but that's okay. I'm you know, building new ones over there. I'm going to have this rail. I think I'll start with this rail. Yeah. So this rail here is going to cross behind this house, and it does create some noise pollution, but I think it's one of those things where it'll be worth it in the end, I think. So why don't we have this? We're gonna have you cross here. Yeah, cross here, and then from there, I want you to lift up 10 meters to go there. So you're gonna end up going over top of this road. You don't cross both roads. And then from there, we'll have you go up another 10 meters. I want your incline to be really gradual, so this should be okay, right? Comes down, and then it's a very gradual because this actually goes downhill while this is raised up. So that's super gradual. I like that. And then we'll cross here, raised up this high. So we'll grab the rail and we'll cross here in a straight line. 180 degrees on that. Yep, right about here should be good. It says it's a 2.1 degree inclination, but I guess I have to raise up higher in order to make that flatter. Well, that's no good. But if I make this out longer, I guess I wouldn't have to. Yeah, this ends up being straighter. A 1% grade is nothing. Yeah. So we'll have that. And then we want it to come down. So we're going to have it come down. Not underground. Just stay 0. Yep. All the way out to about here. Should be fine because it goes uphill again, right? So as the hill goes up, the train tracks come up with it. And apparently I went to -10. I don't want to do that. So let's pull that back. There we go. And we should now be right about where we want to be here, I think. Yep. Pretty close anyway. Make sure I'm at 0 here. There we go. And you're not going to let me do that because of how that works with the terrain. So I'm going to pull this back. And we're going to try to get this to be right where we need it to be. I'm going to go down to 0, which is where I'm at right now. And this is a 0 grade. Should be right on the terrain. And then at that point, we can then get this rail to connect to the global rail as well. So we'll come out to about, I guess, this far. I won't be able to make this perfect. And I'll probably be changing a lot of the rails as I get more tiles unlocked. But this at least gets me to get what I need, right? And what I need is for this single rail to come out about this far and then over and connect there, since it's the maximum I can go over before I'm out of my territory. And then on this side, I'm going to have it come out about this far and then over about like that. And that's going to hook up for passenger trains. So passenger trains can now get into the city. All right. So we're going to turn this on and we're going to add, I don't need extra platforms or anything. I don't need, station services could be interesting. Small shops, restaurants, and kiosks for passenger convenience increases the attractiveness of the station, and the services pay rent, which offsets maintenance costs. It's not bad, but I think I need to make sure people are actually using it before that happens. So let's make sure we have a route first. I want passenger rail line. We're going to have them come in on this track, of course. So there's that one. And from there, we want them to go out to the border and then come back. So we now have a passenger rail line that goes out to the world, okay? Which I think is great. We can also do another one, I suppose, where we have a line that starts in here, and then it goes all the way out to the border, which is over here. And then also comes all the way over like this and back, and completes the route like so. So we have 2 separate routes that go out that way, right? Which is nice. And then the final thing we can do is we can actually connect a passenger train station to the cargo yard as well. That's a thing that you can do in this game too. So perhaps we want to have this station, which I'll have to connect the rail to, but that should be fairly easy to do because I have the track right here. So I should be able to just take this track right here, for example, and just make it merge over here like this. Like that. Oops, I need to go like this. No, hang on. Like that. There. That should be doable. So now I can go passenger rail and I can say, okay, I want to take this side, let's say. Right there. And then from this one, we can go all the way out. You can see right here, there's a green passenger terminal. Oh, that's just the cargo terminal, isn't it? Oh, I was thinking it's because it's the same color. I saw this and I thought that could happen, but apparently not. Well, never mind then. We'll have to have a passenger train terminal over here too, which, you know what, isn't a bad idea, honestly, to make that happen. It's just, I don't really have like the direction for the rail to go to do that. I suppose I could maybe put it in here and then have this rail come over and then come into this side. And then at that point, it could then cross and go that way. But we'll think about that later, I guess. That's just my bad. I thought we could do that because I saw the little green icon and I figured blue was, my brain said blue is cargo and green was, yeah, I guess it makes sense because it's a cargo yard. So whatever. Anyway, we are going to just leave it the way it is for now. We'll leave this alone, and we have some trains, right? And so these trains, we can institute a parking fee. I'm not going to bother with that just yet. We have 2 lines on this train, and we're going to see trains moving around and hopefully bringing people into the city. And by bringing people into the city, I sincerely hope that that leads to having more customers in the city is what I'm hoping for. So we'll see how that goes. Having a passenger train station over here wouldn't be a bad idea, but I don't think it's urban enough. I don't think there's enough people over here for me to worry about it yet. I will say, though, that having, we can continue on in getting, more people over here. So maybe I cross this road over like this, and I keep this neighborhood kind of over like this. And maybe I'll just go about here for now. And then we could have this road continue from here. I can bring this over, and it can go straight over like this. And maybe it'll end up crossing, or nah, I don't think it needs to cross. I think it's going to end up hitting right there as that intersection. So we could have this come over about like this. Well, it matches up with that intersection like that, right? And then from there, we bring it over. And I think I can even... Oh, a painter mansion. Cool. I can have this just be like right here. That's fine. Okay. And then this one can then start right here. So we can build our second little section of a city. You have a different neighborhood, a different area on the map, right? And we can do this anywhere. We don't even need to connect it to land that we own. So like later on, if I wanted to, I could say, hey, let's make a city over here. As long as I just buy the tiles, it can happen, provided it has access to the rest of the world. So it would have to have highway access. So most likely I'd have to start that city like over here. And then as long as it has access to the highway, they could then drive where they need to go, or the rail and can get where they need to go, right? Or same thing over here on this side. In this case, we have access to the highway. It's just we drew our own access to the highway, right? So no big deal. All right. So at this point, I think we can just start. We just need to zone a ton of stuff, right? I mean, that's just it. We just have to zone a ton of stuff. So why don't we put another sort of neighborhood kind of thing over here, and we'll say that it comes off of this road, let's say, and we'll go out a little bit away from the road, and then we'll have this connect up over here like this. I think that's probably pretty good. Okay. And then we'll have this go out that way. About there. That's fine. And then we'll just make this little neighborhood over here too. And, I don't want to leave that much space. So, tell you what, how about we grid on this side? I just want to change it up. I want to do things a little differently. That's it. That's all I really care to do sometimes, is just do things a little bit different. There we go. I like this. It gives me room to put extra big things around here too. We'll do something about like, actually it should be over a bit more, shouldn't it? It should be about here. Yeah, this is where we should be doing it. Right about here like this. I can live with that right there. But apparently the game cannot. Overlapping items. All right, tell you what, we'll just burn this to the ground. How's that sound? And then we'll start with our grid on this side. Right here. Up to here. And then over. Like so. All right, we'll do something like that. That's no big deal. And then this will go straight over like that. It's all connected. No big deal. And then this stays just the way it is, and we'll go all the way across. And then we'll have other buildings and stuff through here too. And maybe even put an alley through here or whatever. But it gives us room for things like parks. So I want a little park to be positioned over here somewhere where there's not people yet. This looks like we're pretty much using all the space. There's a little bit of commercial space over here not used, so we'll pop that there. Probably gonna want healthcare over here. And that's kind of a thing that's everyone's gonna want. So I think we'll probably slip that in right here. That seems good. Everybody's got healthcare in this area now. Congratulations. We'll want a police cover. We're gonna want police coverage over here for sure. So we'll have that be over? We can do it like more central and like in the commercial areas, usually the way you want to do that. But I also want room for the expansions and stuff. I don't remember what this building really requires for those expansions, but I'm going to plot this police station like right here. I think that's probably a fair place for it. And then the firehouse can also go right next to it. It's fine. All right, so at least these guys have coverage for everything. Now, my budget's still going to look bad for a little while, but as businesses start to get enough customers, it should be happening already. Our population's gone up, hasn't it? Let's speed up time a little bit here. Let's get these guys actually living here for a while. And then no vehicles. Let's see. There are currently no vehicles available. Consider building more depots to gain access to a larger pool of vehicles. Oh, my bus depot is out of vehicles. Is it? Is that so? Well, I think maybe you are mistaken. I think I have plenty of buses. What do you think? I think I have plenty of buses. There you go. Buses. And now everyone can be happy because they have a bus route. All right. So now, with this much low density, they still have max demand for low density residential. Wow. Okay, I'm going to pop that up. In fact, I'm going to tax... Oh, this goes by education level? Oh, that's silly. No. We shouldn't be doing that. Why are we doing that? It should be by the density. Oh, that's silly. Why are we taxing them by education level? Okay, that's weird. I don't understand that one. Do you understand that one? I'm pausing right now trying to figure out what the heck that's all about. Here's passenger train. How many people we got riding on this train now, I wonder? So there's 13 that just came in. Another 9 just came in here, and then is that how many's leaving on the train too? I mean, there was a whole bunch. That's a lot more than 9. I think that's how many people just got on the train. Yeah, these are a lot of people that just got off the train, so that's no big deal. So now we should have a lot more people riding our buses, I hope, anyway. You know what? We can also help people move around by having another service that's available. And that's the taxi service. And the taxi service is... I thought it would be in transportation, but apparently it is not. Is it in roads? No, it should be here, isn't it? Train. Road. Oh, it's road, of course. It's going to be not buses, but taxi depots, yeah. So if I pop a taxi depot over here, let's say we pop it in... I don't want to get in the way of the rail. So we can pop it in over here, I guess. Might be a okay spot for it. Near the water. It's like going to get in the way of my whole high-density expansions and stuff. How about we put it right here? Have a taxi stand right here. Okay. Now this is going to generate taxis, but what we can do is we can put one of these stands or these shelters up, and then these are places that taxis will sit and wait for a fare. The taxis can take them anywhere they want to go. They don't have to go to just stops. But when they don't have a fare calling them, they'll wait by the stand. That's what these are for. So I can put a taxi stand on this side of the street, for example. And then when taxis have nothing to do, they can wait by that stand. We can also have another one. Maybe happens like, I don't want to get in the way of the buses. So we can have another taxi stand, maybe go there. Let's have another one, maybe go here, let's say. Let's get one down in this area. Of course, people will wait at these taxi stands as well, hoping to get a fare. So if they haven't called a taxi or whatever, then they'll just wait by these stands too. And I think that's probably good for now. So we'll have a few taxi stands in, and we're just trying to get people to move around a little bit because maybe they don't have enough customers because people can't get to them. I suspect it's a lack of population, but I mean, my population should be growing really quickly now. So we'll see. We do need death care over here as well. And the crematorium is the solution for that. Now we can have death care services. And we have a streamlined diner, classic American style diner building for when you just want some nostalgia. That's gotta go over here, right? So this is a commercial signature building, absolutely. More attractiveness, negative 1% import cost citywide, and 3% well-being within 500 meters. But it's gotta go down here, right? Your downtown diner thing, it's gotta happen. Get me out of this view so I can see what things are doing. So right by the park, diner by the park. Absolutely. Yeah, this is what I want. I want the diner right by the park is where I want it. All right, good. All right, and what else do we have? We have another building that we unlocked before too, and that was the Painter Mansion. Painter is known world over, but chooses to live in this city. Plus 6% well-being within 1.5 kilometers. We want that to affect our highest density areas, and this is a really undesirable place to live, apparently. So maybe our Painter residence, he'll want to live over here, probably, right? Like over here by the water. I think he'll probably want to live by the water, you guys. Some people have told me about, I think they're called quays, right? Those little on the water things. They are somewhat difficult to make in this game because they don't actually exist in so many, like they don't exist in like an official capacity in this game. So like kind of what you have to do is have to pick a spot where the game will let you make a road that curves around the border, if you will, curves around the water, and then use the terrain tool to like fix that, right? So if I wanted to say put one here, I would have to go something like this, I think. And then I have to find a way to curve this properly. It's where the game would let me put it here. And it doesn't quite let me do that because it's just a little off the water. So I'd have to come in just a little bit more. Yeah, even more than that. So I guess it has to be fully in. This is, as far as I understand, this is how I have to make them. If there's a better way to do it, then please let me know. But this is, as far as I know, the way to make them. So I'd have to come in like this, basically. I can connect it up on this side. And then this road would have to be, I mean, ideally I'd want it to go all the way around, but it's fine. I mean, I kind of don't want this building to be so high up and then have this border be here. But essentially, again, as far as I know, what you'd have to do then is you would, you know, kind of do one of these numbers, which again is pretty bad, and it's already cutting into my land here. I'm sure there's a better way to do this. I'm sure it's like maybe using the alleys instead or the walk paths instead or something, but having a solid wall, I guess, is on these waterways instead of, you know, having them all jittery like this. The game just doesn't have a solid way to do this without a whole lot of effort. Or unless you're like a really experienced City Skylines player and you just have that like muscle memory down and you know how to do it. I don't. I'm open to, you know, learning how to do it for sure, but it's just not something that I have taken a great deal of time into yet. I also think I was way too harsh on that brush. I really didn't want to do that harsh on the brush. I want to be really low to the water here is what I'm hoping to do. So let me just get really low to the water. Maybe not that low. I could probably go up a little bit higher. Yeah, that's probably better. Just a little bit higher. And then just kind of like making this little home, almost like a beach kind of thing happening right down here by the water. Right. And then I need to have this slope, of course, so that it all works out. So we'll maybe do something like that. So we're getting lower onto the water now. Right. And then probably would want to make my brush a little bit lower here, and then maybe we'll have this kind of connect on that side would be a good idea, right? So we'll just kind of keep going with this. About like that, I guess, to give us a path that goes around that, right? So it kind of fixed my problem there, but it's just, I don't know how to make the walls, is what I'm saying, and I haven't put a whole lot of time into it. But I think I want my painter to live over here. If you have a specific advice for me on how to make those things, I will look into doing it. But it's because I agree, it looks a lot better. But it's just that the game doesn't come. It's like, despite all the, like, I'm just like maybe a very mini rant here, okay? Just a very small little mini rant. All the people who have played City Skylines 1 and all the beautiful cities that have come from it and all the amazing mods that came from it, Colossal Order didn't think we wanted those? to be able to just build them in the game? For real? You didn't think about that? You didn't think about like, oh yeah, hey, those little barrier walls, of course. That just didn't cross your mind at all? Like what? You're just kind of like, hey, you know, hey, players will just, you know, they came up with really custom ways of doing it before. They'll do it again. That's the mindset that happened there. I just feel like that's a little off. You know, I feel like that maybe shouldn't have been the way that it was. That's all I'm saying. I think it probably should have been maybe just a little bit more consideration on the things that a lot of players were doing and enjoyed doing in the last game, and maybe just maybe incorporating those things into this new version would have been a good idea. That's all I'm saying. Because a lot of players did those things. A lot of people did that. All right, painter, you're gonna end up being. I don't know. Like I feel like this guy should live in a more rural area, right? I just like the bonuses for this. While being in a kilometer and a half, I just like the bonuses. But I want him to live. You know, I don't want him to live in the shittiest place of town, but like right on the water is kind of where he deserves to be. And if I put him over here, then it'll also affect across the bridge, which is good. Like I want this to kind of hit everywhere, you know? So yeah, I just feel like we did the Rockstar over there. I might move these guys later anyway, right? Let's put you here, I guess. We'll have a little road, be like a little alley road. It comes around like this. Come on, you were gonna do it, and then you told me no right after. No, in water. Oh, that's silly. The whole road has to be deleted. All right, hang on. We're gonna get this. It's not exactly the straightest, the bestest curve you've ever seen, but I'm gonna put my artist right here. Painter's mansion, right on the water. Okay, there. That's his view. I think that's pretty damn tranquil, even if the rest of the city is just, you know, that's a really cool looking house too. Let's just call it what it is. They did amazing on that modeling. Look at that house. I would love to live in that house. That looks awesome. World-renowned painter living there, man. That's awesome. So the well-being should go up in this area now, and people should be happier in this area, at least I hope. But the only demand we seem to have is low-density residential. That's the only thing that people want. It's their own. Everyone wants their own house. I guess that's the way it goes. Sure, we'll give you guys more of that right over here. Then most likely going to need education again. Yeah, I mean everybody needs education, so we'll have to have another elementary school, and we're gonna place that over here, right like this on this road, just off that road, I guess, like this. That's gonna make everybody happy. And then put a high school here too, give it a little bit of room. We're not gonna have the big stadium or anything on this one, but you can put the high school maybe on this side over here. All right, sweet. Now of course again my budget is still gonna get hit because I keep adding additional services and buildings and stuff, but as we get more people paying taxes, more people move into the city, I'm hoping a lot of these little blips go away here. High rent is a thing too, right? Higher zone or a higher zone density or different zoning may be needed. You're not giving me any demand for it. And I have spare spots. All this stuff is really patchy because you're not building there, you know, like you're just not building there. Like these are all row homes for higher density, and they're just choosing not to build there because there's no demand for it. And I'd love to like lower taxes for higher demand buildings or for higher density buildings, but that doesn't seem to be possible in this game. It's by education level. Which brings me to the next thing I want to do, and that is to give these guys a community college. First step towards higher education for teens and adults alike, provides a third level of education, and we definitely want that. I was thinking of putting that right over here and trying to figure out exactly where that fits. So I was thinking of putting this like right over in this area. I'm trying to leave room for that expansion, right? Room for the expansion is important. And yeah, I'm thinking like probably maybe off of this road. If I upgrade this road, you can put it off this edge road right over here. I kind of wanted it to be on this one though. Yeah, I kind of want it to be on this one. Maybe let's try this. We'll go with a 4-lane road right up behind this area, right behind these businesses here. Although I want higher density here at some point, so maybe I'll give them a little extra room. And we'll cross right here with it instead. All right, and then we'll put it on this road. I think that's a good compromise. All of this can be higher density commercial later. So college will go right over here. And I kind of want this to be flat. I'm going to want this to be flattened here just so that we can get the expansions and everything to look proper, all right? Because like you see what happened to my bus depot. It's kind of meh. Not really great there. So we definitely want to do something about that. And if you add an extension to a building, you can't just delete the extension. That ends up deleting the entire building. I feel like that's an oversight that's hopefully going to get corrected in this game too. Let's make this a little bit bigger. So I want to get this a more gradual slope, I think. Down to this level. So the houses by the water kind of get a little cliffside to look at as the rest of this land gets raised up a little bit more. And I want this to be a kind of a smooth upwards slope through here. There we go. Just get this a little bit smoother through here. All right, and then in this area, again, we want to just raise this up a little bit so that the college ends up being nice and flat. So the bus depot is, of course, going to have this wall behind it, and that's okay. As long as it's flat, I'm okay with it. Community college just needs to be flatter. All right, I think that's flatter. Maybe not the best. I can probably go a little bit more here. We're not going to have anything in this area. It's going to just be open unless I put actually, you know what? I could put this in there. A campfire site would be interesting. Because nobody needs a campfire site to be level. You know, you don't need this to be level. Kind of need it to be to fit though, don't you? It doesn't really fit. This isn't exactly someplace that's rural in its nature either. Maybe we can have it be here. It kind of looks like it fits there. I like that. All right, college. This is going to give them a little bit more room on that side, and then goes here. The grade is bad on this side all the way to about here's where the grade starts getting bad. So we'll do that, and then we'll bring it down from there. Okay. And then here is where the college goes, like that. All right, what kind of extensions are on these? So more room for even more eager learners. That's directly on the thing. Perfect. And then this is the college library, which would go right next to it. Perfect. Okay, that's excellent. Left plenty of room for that to happen. All right, we now have a city college, and that means all sorts of people can come in and get themselves learned. Huh? Now, again, I can create districts, but I don't see the advantage of it yet. I don't see the reason to do it just yet. I'm sure there's a reason. You can tell me what the reason is if you like, but I don't see a specific reason for it just yet. Let's take a look at some other metrics here. So I think we're probably getting a little bit light on water. I don't see any indication of it other than, yeah, water availability overall seems okay. We're not trading any. We have sewage treatment, which isn't really happening. As far as treatment's not happening, but I can always come over here. Gotta watch my spending for a second, but let's do a little chemical purification. We're at a 36,000 deficit at the moment. I suspect, again, this will improve as our economy improves, and I need to see these icons go away. I've added 30%, 20% more population in this video already. Nearly 30% more people. And I've connected an external connection. And these guys are still having a hard time getting people. Still having a hard time getting customers. So I clearly have too many of these businesses that are like, you know. And the thing is, your customers live directly above. All right. Maybe it's just your business. Maybe your business just sucks. You ever think of that? Maybe you're just not any good at it. Hey, don't blame me. Don't blame me. All right. It ain't my fault. 88 students in the college. We definitely need more people to take the college too, because that is costing us money, and we need to be able to collect that stuff, like tuition fees and stuff. We need to be able to collect that. But I think it's going to work itself out as we get more people in, and as the houses and stuff build. I just don't see why the residential demand is all low density, all of it, always. It's the only thing they want. It's a little bit, well, I don't want to say it's silly, because I mean, I get it. I understand wanting to have your own place, but I feel like at the same time, a lot of people are complaining about high rent, and you know how you can fix that. You can let me give you lower rent housing. And lower rent housing comes in the form of apartments. That's gonna cost less than a full house. Okay, so you know, just saying, you could let me do that. Here, let's bring this over here. I'm gonna have to demolish a couple of you guys' houses, and that's fine. I'm just gonna give you space for even more right here. Okay, so build even more houses. And we have a bus route that takes them into the city, or takes them over here to the industrial area. I guess maybe I could add another bus route that takes them other places, but another taxi shelter might be all right. You just say, hey, taxis can go here. I don't know what taxis are going to actually be over here, though, so it's possible taxis won't even come this way, but I don't know. We'll see. We can go to university. I don't think we're ready for that yet. I need to see a lot of people at the college before I can do that. We have the Rubik Apartments, luxuriously styled brick building that has many visually inspiring aspects. All right, let's take a look and see what that gives us. So this gets us +8 well-being within 2 kilometers. It's a fairly good sized building. It's not bad. We could put it over here near the college. I like it. I like that idea. Put it right here near the college. Or I could just get this. Hey, big town is done. 1.9 million, and we get to have a whole lot more land. Isn't that nice? We'll go ahead and put it here. All right, good. So that is a nifty looking apartment building, and it's right on the corner there, coming down the hill. Hey, I like it. You know what we should probably get? Parking lots. More parking lots near all these places, and I'm kind of hoping one would fit right here, but it doesn't quite fit there. I have to move the apartment over one spot, and then it would, though, which is fine. I can do that. Why don't we relocate you to right here instead? And that will work for me, because the parking lot should now fit right here. Oh, one space away even. Huh. Weird. You were giving me a fuss earlier. I want to move this over. I wanted it to be right there. Yeah. All right. Well, now it works. And then the college should have some parking nearby too, right? I mean, we should have people being able to drive to the college. Absolutely. So we'll get some college parking, underground parking building. Multiple floors can be upgraded with a car wash. Nice. We're going to put that right next to it, right here. Boom. Big underground parking facility right there where people can come on in, they can park here, and they can walk to all sorts of different places. Now, and as far as walking goes, we haven't really used any pedestrian paths yet. And this is the way that people told me I could determine sort of like what road people are getting their zoning on and stuff, right? So if I put like a little path right here, for example, that would shift the zoning to there, all right? Which is pretty good. If I delete that path then and go back to the zoning, it kind of, sometimes it like levels out, and so like everything works there, which is kind of cool. But I've seen it return to normal or return to the way it was before. I've seen that happen too. And I guess the solution to that is just to wait until somebody actually builds on that spot, right? I think that's how that works. We now have North American high density housing being possible. I have no idea if anyone will ever do that, but I would like to try. So, you know, let's see if we can't get some high density housing in here, huh? I want to see if you'll go and give me a gigantic building right here on the water. 2 gigantic buildings are possible there, right on the water. All right. And then in commercial, we still can't get that yet. We need Great Town. And then we've unlocked ore mining, which we actually can't do on this map. As far as I'm aware, my map does not have any ore on it at all. Unless I'm just misreading this, right? Like over on the left, 0, right? We have some oil available. We have obviously wood, and we've got fertile land, right? And our renewal rate on the map is like way higher than what we're utilizing, so that's good. And make sure that's keeping happening. Fertile land and stuff too, right? Our utilization rate is greatly exceeding our renewal rate at the moment, right? Sorry, the other way around. And so we have oil, and we can get oil drilling going, which is great, but we don't have any ore as far as I know. So oil is right in here. And so we definitely want to get that because we do have a deficit with oil. So this can kind of be where we can extract oil. I kind of wanted this to be my inner city though. So if possible, would love to extract oil other places. Like over here would be nice, or way over here, right? Away from my people, basically. Over here would be a good spot for oil, right? I would rather do that because that is just going to be flat out better to, you know, getting my people what they need and growing the economy and stuff. I want this to be where people are. I don't want to have like a dirty oil industry right by the highway. You know what I mean? I mean, it'd be great for business and moving that product around, but I don't think it'd be great for people. So, yeah, anyway, so it's all low density and it's so high up too. Like their demand for this just seems to know no bounds. All right. I have provided a lot of, I'm just going to raise the taxes on this stuff. I mean, I can get myself a green in my budget just by raising taxes a little bit more. And there we go. We're green. So we've added more people. Somehow we have so many businesses that still are just not getting customers. So, you know, I mean, I guess more people living right close to them would work if it would give me demand for anything else. It just doesn't, you know? So I don't know. I'd like to explore getting bigger buildings and bigger cities and stuff, but I feel like anyway in this game, you're sort of a slave to this little area here, right? Sort of. I think anyway, I'm sort of a slave to that. And as far as our upgrades over here goes, since we do have a green budget, I can maybe go ahead and get a fire station, like a full-on station, have a larger service area. Probably be a good idea. We do the same thing with the police headquarters, cover a larger surface area, and it also has a jail, right? So that would be good. And then I can maybe get rid of my basic police buildings and replace them with headquarters, that kind of things, right? Those kinds of things. I think a welfare office could be okay. Financial support for low-income citizens, which increases their well-being, lowers the likelihood of recurring crime. So go ahead and get that. And then also there's a city hall. Center for different branches of local government, more efficient bureaucracy, lowers loan interest rates, as well as the price of imported goods. Now, the second part is the thing I'm really interested in. So I'm going to go ahead and get that. And then we're going to go ahead and see where we can go and do that. So a city hall is a ginormous building. I did not think it was going to be this big. It is definitely bigger than I thought it would be. And we could put it over here, I guess. It's kind of way outside of the city in that case, but maybe it'd be better to get out of this view. Maybe it'd be better to put it over somewhere else. Could put it over. I don't want to get in the way of the trains. Like, the most likely these tracks are going straight through here, so I don't want to get in the way of that. But if I put it like this, I think the train tracks would go behind City Hall, and we'd have this sort of be like right by the cemetery in that sense. Maybe that's okay. We could put a City Hall way over here. All right, good. So that gets us the City Hall, and then there's the welfare office, which I kind of wanted to put over here because this is where my low-income housing is. So that makes sense for this building to be nearby those guys. So we'll go ahead and put that maybe... I could put it over here like this. Yeah, like right here would be okay, I think. All right, we have a welfare office over here now, and we can just sort of level this out and get this to... well, I need it to kind of lower itself in, right? But I can do the terrain stuff and everything later. Looks like it's actually working out just fine. Yeah, it's going down. So There we go. Okay. So welfare office, I might move this just because it's still a little wavy, but it's gonna do hopefully do what it needs to do to make people better off, hopefully reduce our crime rates and things like that. We have lots of development points, these 13 development points. We can go into water, we can go into air, we can go into trams. Park maintenance is a good thing, so keep things clean and in good conditions. We can get larger parks, which would be good. Sports parks seems interesting, right? We want to greatly improve how people live in our area and greatly improve how attractive our city is. We're going to need things like this. We're going to need to place buildings like this that people want to live near or to have access to. So, you know, this is the kinds of stuff we have to do. I'm pretty sure we don't want a basketball court on shaky ground, so that's probably not a good idea. A little outdoor gym action, right? Things like that are things we have to put in place to keep people happy. So I'd probably want to do something like that as well. We could put it like, oh, people are building right there. That's good. Hey, we're starting to get people building. I like this. How about put right there? Right there. Outdoor gym. Boom. Outdoor gym. Nice. So we'll take a look at opportunities like that too as we've unlocked more things. Still the same number of icons over here, but we've grown our population quite a bit in this video, and I think people are really well off now, albeit the taxes are high. We are going to lower them, but as long as they're not giving me any problems with demand, I'll just keep them where they are. I don't know, like the fact that 13% tax rate for commercial demand, like I don't know how commercial demand could possibly be this high when you have businesses that just have no businesses have no customers, but yet you have a soaring commercial demand. Seems a little weird. I guess I could always say that maybe the commercial demand is over here. It's possible that the commercial demand is just like maybe like on this corner right here. I could put something like right here, right? Like they're gonna fill it in immediately. And something over here potentially. I don't know. I need to see what the noise pollution and stuff is over here. Speaking of which, I want to get access to this land because that's where our fertile land is. Let's get access to where else should we get access to before I end this video? Because I'm getting really long here, I know. How about we go with this side so we can keep expanding over here. And let's get this and this here taken care of, this here, and we have 2 more spots left. We could go like this to get like the rail sort of redesigned on this side. That's kind of all I would need to get the rail redone. And then from there, I think probably this tile here, because I'm reaching this road over to get like over into the side so I can start developing this too. I do want to have like a lot more stuff going on, but I don't know exactly which tile it is. So tell you what, I'll save this bonus tile that I have, and if I go into something and I'm like, okay, I really need that, then I'll just go ahead and get that instead. All right. We have people that are waiting for ambulances. Well, we've arrived. There we go. I think we have okay coverage. There's lots of buildings getting upgraded, even though there are some buildings getting abandoned at the same time, and they just don't have enough customers. I think over time this will all work itself out, but it's just going to take a while. So I'll delete the ones that are gone, and I have no idea why. Here's another thing that's just weird to me. Where's my office demand? Like, it doesn't exist. I don't understand that. Like, we've unlocked offices and yet there's no demand for it at all. It doesn't make any sense. All right, I'll just keep playing. Sorry, I don't want to complain. It's just I have things in my head and I want to say them out loud. Okay, thanks for watching. I appreciate you. We'll see you next time. Bye bye.